few days ago, I made a video talking about Henry VIII's Great Matter and the divorce, and I said I'd do a part 2. Occasionally, I follow through on that. Here's part 2. Now, where I got up to was Charles V, the Holy Roman Emperor, got involved. He wasn't just emperor, he was also King of Spain. And he was Catherine of Aragon's nephew, the son of her sister, Juana la Loca. And in the past, they had been allies. Some people like to say that the Great Matter sort of pushed things forwards as to why this alliance fell apart. It had been falling apart for years. Charles was supposed to marry Henry's daughter, Mary. That didn't happen. He was supposed to help Henry take the throne of France, because that was part of his inheritance. That didn't happen. And even when Charles had defeated the King of France at the Battle of Pavia, he still didn't give Henry what he promised. Needless to say, Henry was a little bit fed up with Charles. Charles had problems of his own. In 1527, a mutinous section of his army sacked Rome. Insert Sabaton music here. It was a vicious sacking of the city and forced the Pope Clement to retreat to Castel Sant'Angelo. So the Pope was now pretty much under Charles's very expensive Habsburg boots. So when the message got to Rome from England, from Cardinal Wolsey, hey, by the way, the king wants a divorce, Charles was having none of it. He was like, you've been married to my aunt for near 20 years and this hasn't been an issue. Suddenly you're throwing Leviticus verses everywhere. And that's when Henry's letters with Anne Boleyn come into the picture. Because kings could get divorced, that was not weird. It was somewhat frowned upon, but it happened. But a king trying to divorce a woman from some of Spain's noblest roots, who was a champion of Catholicism in favor of a borderline common-born woman who was a Protestant reformer, And the Pope had sent a representative, Cardinal Campeggio, to oversee this matter. Campeggio's strategy was simple. I'm just gonna wait this out. And that's what he did, for 2 years. Every time they come to him like, hey, Campeggio, can you look at this evidence? He's like, I can't today. I'm sick. On and on and on this goes until finally the Pope just says no. And Henry sees this as the ultimate knife in the back. Henry saw it as he had spent his life defending Christendom from outer attacks and from Martin Luther, and now the Pope wasn't going to give him his simple wish? Nah. Gathers scholars and theologians together to argue that the Catholic Church's rule in England is a tyrannical usurpation of what should be the authority of the king. The Pope's over there sweating. If you do this, I'll excommunicate you. Henry's like, I don't care. Do it. And the Pope cannot do anything. Henry is now supreme head of the church in England. As supreme head of the church, he looks into the matter again. And surprise, surprise, he finds no issue with it. Catherine of Aragon is out. He has torn away the very fabric of his country, alienated himself on the European stage, and he still didn't get that son. Anne Boleyn gives birth to a daughter, Elizabeth.